Greetings, dear ones. It's Wednesday, the 16th of February, and greetings to all on this full snow moon. The names of the moons come from either Amerindian, that's Native American names. Some come from European names. Some moons are named for the season. Different tribes around the North American continent use different terminology because of the weather and their observations at the time. So while this is more known as the snow moon because February generally has the most snow, it's also known as the raccoon moon by the Dakota tribe. It's also known as the groundhog moon. Also the hungry moon, because this is a point in time when food is scarce in many areas of the country because of the coverage of snow for animals and formerly for people as well. So the name I would invite you wherever you are in the country to find out what the Native American tribe in your region referred to the moon names, and that'll give you a better way to connect more deeply, not only with the cycles of the moon and the moon itself, but the land and the season and the cycles and rhythms of the land and the environments and habitats around you. Because that is what we want to become more aware of as we tune in more to our own bodies, our own feelings, our own inner world that allows us to connect more deeply with the planet we're on and all the nature aspects around us, all life around us. I mentioned in the video a couple days ago of a beautiful book which I highly recommend. It's called Behaving as If the God in All Life Mattered. And that's really what we need to do. We just went through what's considered the Day of Love. And, when we bring that love to each and every aspect of the world around us, then that helps to allow for more life, more growth, more flourishing of our environment, of the changes that we're going through, because this is a huge evolutionary process we're in the midst of. And so we're in a time of recalibration, and that recalibration can oftentimes be a little bit uncomfortable. I have clients right and left who are in profound crisis, either physically or revelations in their world that they really had no idea. They're seeing the connection between how they feel and the world around them. I have other clients powerfully manifesting right and left, creating in their business, in their artistry, all different ways, and bringing forward some of those skills and talents and abilities that they have in other existences to channel them in and through this life. So there's a lot going on. Astrologically, this is a full moon in Leo, and Leo is always about the heart. And of course, so close to Valentine's Day is very special as well. And I'd like to read to you a beautiful piece written by Claire Dubois, who heads up the Tree Sisters. An absolutely fabulous and very, very effective foundation that not only plants trees and tends to trees, but actually helps the local areas that are being affected by the removal of trees, the needing to cut them down and sell them for economic reasons, and now their livelihood is no longer there, how to reset their economies and ways of generating funds without destroying that which has been their source resources for many years, many generations. And before I read that, though, I do want to mention that this full moon, aside from it being around the heart, is really about, as all full moons are, the ending of things, ending of cycles. And things are moving very, very quickly, in case you hadn't noticed, in the world. We have a lot of revelations, a lot of discovery, and that which is hidden coming forward. And yes, that has been going on for quite some time, but it's happening more quickly and more radically. In other words, this is information that's coming forth that is going to rock the world. Certainly we're seeing that in the Olympics. The news coming forth about the figure skaters and from Russia, and the doping, or giving them medications. And this is a child, this is a minor, she's 15 years old. Medications to enhance her endurance and strength and the ability to take in oxygen. So, this is more revelation about the behind the scenes that goes on, whether it's in this case in the Olympics. Again, a lot of revelation regarding text messaging back and forth on the day of the insurrection, January 6th of last year, and what was going on behind the scenes. And we're going to find out more and more in corporate America, etc. What's going on behind the scenes. CNN, big executives are leaving. Things are being revealed. The old order is falling away. And I don't like to refer to it as the old order, but the old way of being. Our old system, our old structure that was that pyramid structure that I've spoken about so often, with very few at the top holding the resources and the power and the control, attempting to oppress and keep down the masses, which has been going on for many, many millennia, 100,000 years. But we have chosen on a deep soul basis to do something different now. And we are at that tipping point. So it is very much about what you do. I've seen and been experiencing so much with clients lately that they are recognizing that when they change their energetic makeup, their energetic structure, their frequency, everything around them changes. And so many of us wish that outer things, outer conditions, people around us would change. And so many of my clients have seen the radical difference in their families, in their work environment, when they do this deep and profound transmutation work. And what shifts, the puzzle pieces no longer fit together, those distorted puzzle pieces. And so as a client pulls out of that patterning and changes theirs, it does not fit the same. And so the others around them quite naturally change their way of being. So in a kind of strange and sneaky way, that wish for the other person to change can and does occur when you change. So give it a shot. Give me a call and let me know what you'd like to change in your life, or post it here. The other thing I want to mention is that this is also a really strong time from some of the other planet alignments right now of joining together in groups. And I am just so excited that we are going to be starting the upcoming personal and planetary redesign group in March. Please reach out and contact me. I'm going to be posting much more information. It's a 3-month program where working with a group, we're working on individual challenges in the group gatherings. with the assistance support sacred geometrics of the entire group. And if that isn't something, if you're not looking to do massive transformation at this point in time and just really want to have a back and forth and a community that you can express yourself and see yourself reflected, then please join the Applied Universal Alchemy group, because all of my work is shifting over to there. So if you want tips and readings and trainings and updates, then please hop on over and join that group, because it really is a question of being reflected. And that's what we want in a community, to reflect and be reflected back. And that's one of the beauties of this full moon. Last night I was out 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that, when it was so quiet, and you could literally feel the energy of the moon being reflected back from the snow. There was still plenty of snow on the ground. Today our temperatures have gone up and most of it is all gone, so I'm so glad that I stepped outside and spent some time with Lady Moon. So brilliant, so bright. The actual full moon occurred at 11:57 this morning Eastern time, but you're going to have the energy and the light and the experience of the full moon for about 3 days. So please take the opportunity to go outside. It's supposed to be fairly warm tonight, well, comparatively to the 20s and 30s that we've had as highs for our day in this area. But if you're in a temperate climate, even if you're not, please bundle up and just stand outside or sit outside for a few moments and really let yourself experience that energy and feel what you're reflecting back to the moon, and allow yourself to even potentially feel yourself being felt by the moon. That comes when we're really deeply connected to ourselves, and that reflection back and forth perpetuates and creates and amplifies the energies that we're desiring. And full moons are always about ending or completing things. So put out to that full moon, or bury it in the land under the full moon, that which you want to end or complete at this point in time. And it's always a wonderful idea, because the moon is so deeply intertwined with water, and water on this planet in particular, to put out a jar of water and let it soak in some of that moon energy, and then you can use it. I like to use it by adding certain essential oils like sage and several other oils that I then use to clear the space, or just gently spray over myself at any point in time when I feel a little bit of congestion around me or in my energy field. Or you can label it with words and soaking in that moon energy, and you have the energy of those words in the water with the amplification and reflection of the moon. And just taking little sips now and then, you can actually feel the energy and the benefit of that. So those are a couple different things I would recommend. Moon bathing, putting out some water to take in that moon energy. And again, either dissolving in that water or burying that which you would like to end. Wonderful rituals for the full moon. And remembering that in any given moment you have choice. And I'm going to close with reading this piece by Claire Dubois, the head of the Tree Sisters, who writes, "There is a choice, always. Every second it sits there, quietly singing its love song, quietly whispering gentleness into the seams of us, willing us to remember that love is a medicine so potent it can perform miracles, take our breath away, drop us to our knees, and show us who we are. She also mentions that she was in her 20s. She went into a home, and on the mantelpiece was written, "What would love do now?" And that's a fabulous and very powerful question to ask yourself in any given situation, in any given moment. What would love do now? As we continue on in this energy from Valentine's Day and through this full Leo moon, the snow moon. Enjoy, and please post some of your ideas or some of your experiences below. I'd love to hear, and any insight or guidance that comes through, I will gladly share with you, either if you'd like it more personally or more privately, let me know and I'll DM the guidance to you, or the message or information that comes in upon your question or your comment of what the full moon experience has been or is for you. And in the meantime, always know that it is with the deepest of honor, gratitude, and love for your presence here on the planet. Till next time, be well. Bye-bye.